Thank you for joining me for our third part of our stress management segment for this course. As you get into this segment, hopefully you should have already watched parts 1 and part 2 of the stress management segment before you get into this third part. So as we get into the third part, our focus is on managing stress. So as I kind of talked about in an earlier section, stress is a normal part of life, and responding to that stress response is actually a normal thing, and it can actually be it's a survival instinct. So it can help you actually be successful when it's managed in a proper way. When it becomes chronically too much, that's when you start seeing a lot of these health problems. So we want to learn how to manage that stress. Okay, so in talking about this, I want to help you understand not that you shouldn't have any stress in your life because you're going to have stress. The point is how do I learn how to manage the stress in my life so that I can still be healthy, still be happy and functional, and not deal with some of the detrimental physical and emotional effects that can happen as a result of too much stress constantly present in our life. Okay, so that's our goal here. So if you have that question, if you feel like you're dealing with a lot of stress in your life, hopefully this will be helpful for you, and hopefully you can find some techniques that'll be something you can take with you throughout your life, all the way through school and into adulthood. One of the best and most productive ways to handle stress is to exercise. Believe it or not. Exercise releases stress-reducing chemicals in the body called endorphins. Look at these people in these pictures, man. They're outside. They're having fun. They're doing something. The fact that they're exercising triggers this response in your body, which releases endorphins, right? And what endorphins do, there's lots of benefits to endorphins. First of all, they help reduce the chemicals that cause stress, that cause that feeling of stress. So we talked a little bit about, how chemicals can kind of create that adrenaline response. Okay, so endorphins actually can help reduce that. Okay, it can help channel that and reduce it. And endorphins are actually also have been found to be a natural painkiller as well. So for people who deal with like chronic pain, especially if it's kind of like on the manageable and actually exercising can help manage some of that pain to some degree. So you can see that there's actually several ways that endorphins are very, very helpful, and one of those is to help manage stress. Your diet can create a great deal of stress within your body and its systems. Your body cannot function properly without adequate nutrition. So eating 3 healthy meals each day can be really helpful to you, and eating foods that help your body and that don't make your body even more stressed out can be a good thing. So eating properly can help lower stress. Getting enough sleep is a huge one. You've probably heard a lot about like how important it is to get at least 8 hours of sleep each night. Different people require different amounts of sleep, but in general, especially for your age, for teenagers, you're going to need, at least 8 hours of sleep is kind of the recommendation, sometimes even more. Because you have a lot going on. Your body needs that rest. When you rest, your body has a way of restoring itself and re-energizing and reducing inflammation and a lot of things that are kind of caused by that stress response throughout the day. And so making sure you get enough sleep so that your body can reset, recharge, is going to help you feel a lot better. And then when you're faced with more stress, your body can help manage that stress a lot better. Other ways to manage stress: avoid unnecessary distressful situations. So there's a lot of choices you can make that you have control over in your life that can help you avoid unnecessary distressful situations. Remember the difference between distress and eustress, right? So it's a good idea to not necessarily put yourself in unnecessarily stressful situations. Tackling one thing at a time, okay, and taking action on something. Sometimes we get, for example, really stressed out about like a big paper that's due in school, and we're just stressed and we're stressed and we're stressed. But what people find a lot of times is by just getting started, that changes from distress to eustress. Because you're being proactive and productive, all of a sudden your response changes to, instead of feeling that stress and just that weight, you actually start to develop confidence, and you start to develop almost like a working buzz from making something happen and from taking action. And so that's a nice way to kind of combat stress, is just to take on one thing. When you feel overwhelmed by a big project or by a lot of things, just getting one thing done is a good way to help manage that stress and being productive, instead of just wallowing in the stress of all that you have to do. Managing your time effectively is another great way to manage stress. Okay, so if you can find the things that are kind of wasting your time and learning how to use your time more effectively, that can help you reduce stress. Try not to let the little things bother you. So that's another thing. You know, if there's like a lot of little things that you tend to get upset over, learning which things are, you know, really worth your energy, and deciding that, you know, hey, this is not worth my energy. This isn't worth me having to have that negative response. Accept what cannot be changed. So learning how to control what you can control, and then to not spend a lot of time focusing or worrying about the things that you don't have control over. So that's another helpful thing. Thinking positively. The power of positive thought is actually a huge thing, and I could spend an entire course on talking about all the ways that this has been proven time and time again, how thinking positively can actually change your response in life and change a lot of things in your life. It sounds really simple, and sometimes maybe it sounds too simple, but learning how to think positively and focusing on the positive things can be a really big way to help manage your stress. And then finding a way to relax your muscles and reduce tension. So there's things like muscle relaxation and imagery and yoga. Again, exercising, as we mentioned before, are ways that can help you relax your muscles and reduce tension. And so finding one of those things that can be like helpful for you, or that you enjoy doing, is a great thing to spend some time doing. You know, I always personally I encourage people to invest in themselves. Right? We spend so much time doing all these things for people, or because we're supposed to get certain things done. Even just giving yourself 10 minutes to do a little muscle relaxation, or an imagery session, or stretching, can be actually really, really helpful for you. And it might be a part of your day that you start to look forward to. So find what works for you. Explore a variety of stress-reducing strategies, and do what works best for you. The better you become at handling stress and stressful emotions or stressful situations, the healthier you will become. In this course, we will actually give you, we'll hopefully be able to expose you to a few different ways that you might be able to do some of those things. Some of those things you probably are already aware of, that you can actually put to practice immediately. In conclusion of our stress management segment, just a few key vocabulary words to review that you need to make sure that you do know. Adrenaline. You need to know what the alarm stage is of the fight or flight response. You need to know what distress is versus eustress. You need to know what emotional stressors are, what endorphins are, the exhaustion stage of fight or flight response, what the fight or flight response is, physical stressors, resistance stage, social stressors, stressors, and that's it. So hopefully this has been helpful. My goal for you and putting this on and having this segment is to help you understand that stress is a normal part of life, and it is normal for you to feel stress. You don't need to feel like there's something wrong with you. It's normal for you to feel stress, but hopefully this is a good start for helping you learn how your stress response works individually, and things you can do to help manage that stress to where it can stay at a healthy level in your life, and to where you can spend less time worrying and more time living. So thanks for joining me for this segment. I hope it's been helpful, and make sure you do anything else that's been associated with this assignment. And if you have any questions further, feel free to reach out to your teacher.